Hello, I'm Tylah Tully, and today I'm joined by Challenger Gold Managing Director Kris Knauer. Kris, you've entered an investment protection agreement with the Government of Ecuador for the El Guayabo project. Can you run us through the terms of this IPA and what it means for Challenger?
Yeah, so look, what it means is it's stability of a legal framework, protection from losing the project, and also we've got the fiscal regime or a worst case fiscal regime locked in. So if the tax and royalty rates, for example, would go up, then the project will actually be able to keep the old royalty and tax rates. If we have a dispute with the Ecuador government, we arbitrate internationally in London. And it sort of, it guarantees a number of other rights, non-discriminatory treatment, property protection. It effectively protects all of the money that we've spent on the project, which is about 40 million US and another 35 million US up until, so everything we spend up until 2027 is protected. And as a worst case, we get that money back if something goes wrong.
And how is exploration progressing in Ecuador? Can you give us an update on the project?
Yeah, so look, we sort of announced a doubling of the resource about 2 weeks ago to 9.1 million ounces. And we had sort of said that, look, once we've got that 9.1 million ounces, we're going to look to monetize the project. Ecuador, we've got 9 million ounces at about a half a gram, a big porphyry project, open everywhere, will get bigger. Whereas in Argentina, we've got almost 3 million ounces, a high-grade core of 1.5 million ounces, and we'll be pouring gold bars there in November. So the two projects don't really sit together. I think the market's ignoring Ecuador. So really, we've put exploration on hold, and we're now looking to monetize the project. And what that looks like is either a Canadian listing for the project, selling the project to another probably Canadian listed entity for shares, or a farming partner, or if we're lucky, and that's now looking more likely, selling it for cash.
And your next door neighbour in Ecuador, Lumina Gold, was also recently bid for at a price of around 650 million Australian dollars. Can you talk us through the implications for Challenger and how your asset compares to Lumina's?
Yeah, look, pleasant surprise, really pleasant surprise. It sort of changes the game for us. So look, in terms of how do the assets compare, Lumina have got 20.5 million ounces of gold, about 26 million ounces of gold equivalent all up. We've got 9 million ounces of gold equivalent. However, we've got another sort of 2/3 of the prospect that are yet to be drilled up. So I think we end up with something similar. When you go to they're only 6 kilometres apart. So, we've been to the Lumina core shed, they've been to ours. When we look at the core, they're exactly the same. So, El Guayabo and Lumina's project are really part of the one big system split by a tenement boundary. So, you would think that if someone now owns Cangrejos, they would like to come and talk to us. I mean, what does that mean in terms of valuation? So $650 million over 26 million ounces gold equivalent Cangrejos, it's about $25 an ounce. We have almost 7 million ounces net to Challenger in Ecuador, in El Guayabo. So 7 times 25. You're looking at a very big number, 175 million Aussie, if we were to sell it and get the actual same price that Lumina got. So that's more than a current market cap. It potentially is a windfall for shareholders.
Kris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.